Business Venture 2 by Roger Barnard and Jeff Cady. Published and copyright Oxford University Press, 1993. Unit 1. Contacts. Exercise 1. First listening. Listen. Where are the speakers? Check the right boxes. Dialogue 1.
You going to London on business?
Yes, and you?
Yes, I'm going to be there for a few days. I'm Carl Fowler, by the way.
Pleased to meet you. My name's Alice Hansen.
Glad to meet you, Alice. Do you travel much?
Yes, I do. My family say I spend more time in a plane than at home.
Is that true?
Well, perhaps it's not quite true, but I do travel quite.
Dialogue 2.
I don't think we've met. My name's Bob Gates.
I'm Makiko Noda. Pleased to meet you.
Do you work here in Chicago?
No, I'm just here for the fair. Do you have a stand here? Oh, yes. That's interesting. Would you excuse me? I have to speak to someone.
Of course. It was nice talking to you.
Unit 1. Exercise 2. Starting a conversation. 1. Listen and check your answers. A.
I don't think we've met. My name's Tim Reed. Glad to meet you. I'm Mike Lamb.
B.
Are you going to Osaka on business?
Yes, just a one-day trip.
C.
Nice party, isn't it?
Really nice. I'm having a great time.
D.
May I sit here?
Please do.
Unit 1. Exercise 3. A short conversation. 2. Now listen and check your answers.
Are you here for the conference?
Yes, and you?
Yes. What do you think of it so far?
Pretty good. Who are you with?
Nabisco. I'm in the sales division.
Oh, really? I work for Ajinomoto. My name is Teruo Matsuoka, by the way.
Glad to meet you. I'm Luis Rosario.
Unit 1. Exercise 4. Ending a conversation. 1. Here are some different ways of ending a conversation. Listen. Dialogue 1.
Well, it was very nice talking to you.
Yes, we must meet again sometime.
That would be great. Here's my card. Maybe we can get together next time you're in town.
I hope so. And here's my card.
Dialogue 2.
Well, it was great to see you again, Harry.
Yes, and we should get together again soon. How about lunch next week?
That would be great. Give me a call at the office and we'll arrange a time.
Fine. See you next week, Frank.
Dialogue 3.
Your new product sounds very interesting. Could you send me a price list?
Yes, of course. I am very sorry, but would you excuse me? I have to make an urgent phone call.
Certainly.
Dialogue 4.
Your new product sounds very interesting. Could you send me
Sorry, I have to speak to that woman over there. She's an important client.
Oh, of course.
Unit 1. Exercise 5. Second listening. 2. Listen to 6 people talking about their companies. 1.
We're probably the best-known computer company in the world. The company was incorporated in 1924, and we manufacture mainframe computers, personal computers, networking products, and system software. We're making some big organizational changes. and we have great hopes for the future.
2.
We have a reputation for high quality. At present, 77% of our earnings come from our automobile division and 14% from motorcycles. Our 750cc motorcycles are especially popular. The company was founded in 1916 and we now have around 80,000 employees.
3.
We produce the world's leading ballpoint pen, and we also manufacture disposable pencils, disposable lighters, and disposable razors. Our short brand name also appears on a majority of sailboards sold in the US and Canada.
4.
We produce and market metal products and industrial and construction machinery. We are also expanding in other areas such as electronics, robotics, information systems, and land development. We have more than 50 overseas subsidiaries and affiliates in the Americas, Europe, and Asia.
5.
Our company was founded in 1937. We manufacture cars, buses, and trucks, as well as engines and components. We have major production bases in the United States, Great Britain, and Thailand. And our main R&D centers are located in Japan, Thailand, the US, and Belgium.
6.
We are a privately owned company based in Italy and have over 6,000 clothing stores worldwide. We are expanding our sporting goods lines and now produce tennis rackets, skis, hiking boots, roller skates, and sunglasses. Right now we're concentrating on the Eastern European and Asian markets.
Unit 2. On the phone. Exercise 1. First listening. Jim Carrington calls a client, Steve Feldman.
Personnel Department.
Hello, could I speak to Mr. Feldman, please?
I'm afraid he's not at his desk right now.
Do you know when he'll be back?
About 3:30, I think. Can I take a message?
Yes. Could you tell him Jim Carrington called? I'll call again later.
Mr. Carrington. Is that Carrington?
That's right.
Yes. I'll tell him, Mr. Carrington.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Unit 2. Exercise 2. Leaving messages. While Mark Sim is out of the office, 5 people call with a message for him. 1. Read and listen to the messages. Then fill in the message slips. The first one is done for you. A.
Mrs. Bayless speaking. Could you please tell Mark that the sales presentation was a big success?
B.
Hi, it's Dave here. Could you ask Mark to call me tomorrow morning?
C.
Good morning. This is Enrique Moreno from HGW Construction. Could you tell Mr. Sim I received the catalog he sent me today? Thanks.
D.
This is Jan Smith in the President's office speaking. Could you ask Mr. Sim to come and see the President as soon as possible?
E.
Fred Fisher from the sales department here. Could you ask Mark to send me the July sales report by the end of the week if possible?
Unit 2. Exercise 4. Telephone manners. 2. Listen and check your answers.
March Associates.
Hello, Fred Jones, please.
I'm sorry, he isn't in the office at the moment.
Could you tell me when he'll be back?
I'm afraid I don't know.
Could I leave a message, please?
Of course. Your name, please?
This is Mike Lamb.
Thank you. And what is the message?
Could you ask him to call me back before 5:30, if possible?
Unit 2. Exercise 5. Second listening. Joe Foster's secretary wrote down some phone messages from his answering machine. 1. Listen to the original messages and check the notes. You should find 2 mistakes. A.
Hi, Joe. This is Dick Bonetti from PRT. I have a few questions about the annual report. Could you call me today if possible? It's pretty urgent. I think you have my number, but just in case it's 434-544-9734. Bye.
B.
Mr. Foster, this is Marcia Weiss of Honda. I received your fax this morning, and I'll call again this afternoon before 5 o'clock. Okay? Thank you. Goodbye.
C.
Joe? Al Davis here. How about that golf game on Sunday, Joe? Is it still okay? Give me a call at home tonight. Any time till midnight is okay. You got my number, right? Hey, wait. I got a new number. Just a minute. Okay, it's 212-725-3438. Okay? Bye.
D.
Hello, Mr. Foster. My name is Casey, Steve Casey, and I represent CCS Security Systems. I'd like to call on you sometime this week to show you our range of security products and services. I'll call again later. Thank you.
E.
Joe, it's Jill. I know you don't like me to call you at work, but I have to see you. There's something I have to tell you. Oh, it's so difficult. Could we meet at the usual place tomorrow? Please be there. I'll be waiting. Oh, and one more thing.
Unit 2, Exercise 5. 3. Listen and check your answers. A.
Dick Bonetti from PRT called about the annual report. Please call him today at 434-544-9734.
B.
Marcia Weiss from Honda called. She got your fax. She will call again before 5 o'clock.
C.
Hal Davis called. Please call him any time before midnight to confirm Saturday's golf game. His new phone number is 212-725-3438.
D.
Steve Casey from CCS Security Systems called. He wants to meet you this week to show you their product range. He will call again.
E.
Jill called. She will meet you tomorrow at the usual place.
Unit 2, Exercise 7. Word file. Telephone talk. 3. Listen to the dialogue and check your answers.
Bob Wilson, please.
Excuse me? I didn't catch the name.
Could I speak to Bob Wilson, please?
Who can I say is calling?
Martin Greensmith from Newgate Investments.
Hold the line. I'll connect you.
Hello.
Good morning. Could I speak to Bob Wilson, please?
Speaking.
Unit 3, Schedules and Appointments. Exercise 1. First listening. Mary Withers calls a business associate, Bill Hoffman, to arrange a meeting. 2. Now listen to the conversation and check your answers.
I need to see you about the design of the new catalog. Sometime next week. Monday, if possible.
Okay, let me have a look at my schedule. How about 11 o'clock?
No, that's no good. I'm making a presentation to the board at 11:15. What about lunchtime?
I'm afraid I'm having lunch with a client.
Are you doing anything in the afternoon? I think we need to discuss this as soon as possible.
Well, I'm leaving for Boston at 5. Could we make it 4 o'clock?
That doesn't give us much time, Bill. How about after lunch?
I'm sorry, but I'm visiting the client's factory after lunch.
Okay, then. Monday afternoon at 4.
Unit 3, Exercise 3. Pronunciation. 2. Listen to the sentences and repeat them. A.
You're meeting her at 3.
B.
They're not coming today.
C.
He's arriving by plane.
D.
We're holding a press conference tomorrow.
E.
I'm not doing anything this afternoon.
F.
They're sending us a replacement soon.
G.
She's giving the presentation on Friday.
H.
You're not playing tennis next week.
I.
I'm speaking to the board today.
J.
We're not going home tonight.
Unit 3. Exercise 4. Second listening. James Wolfe, chairman of the Wolfe Media Group, is talking with his assistant Max about an upcoming trip. 1. Listen and number the items on his schedule in the correct order. The first one is done for you.
Can we go over my schedule for the New York trip, Max?
Of course, Mr. Wolfe. Well, your flight arrives at Kennedy Airport the day after tomorrow. That's Tuesday the 7th at 5:45 p.m. local time. There's nothing planned for Tuesday evening, but on Wednesday morning, you're appearing on a breakfast time TV talk show at 8:15.
A great way to start the day.
Then you're visiting the Jasper Johns show at the Castelli Gallery around 10:30.
Ah, yes. I'm looking forward to that.
Then lunch at your favorite Chinese place on Canal Street. That's with some of the New York staff at 12:45. In the afternoon, you're attending a strategy meeting in the main conference room from 2 o'clock. Here are your notes for that, by the way.
Thanks.
That should finish around 4:30. At 6 p.m., you're visiting our recording studios, and later you're having dinner at a sushi restaurant with some people from CBS Sony.
What time is that?
The reservation is for 8 o'clock.
All right. And Thursday?
You're opening the new 3rd Avenue store at 11 a.m., then it's back to Kennedy. The London flight leaves at 10 after 6 in the evening.
Fine. Thanks, Max. Now, let's go through my notes for the strategy meeting.
Unit 4. Company Performance. Exercise 1. First listening. Michael Lee is giving a presentation on last month's sales figures at the Kansas City branch of Save-O-Mart discount stores. 2. Listen and check your answers.
I'm sorry to say that sales last month were rather disappointing. Let me start by showing you some graphs. Now, if you look at the first graph, you can see that home improvement sales rose slightly to just over $3 million. The second graph shows that in the stationery section, sales remained about the same. As for household appliances, that's graph number 3, of course. Sales fell sharply to $2,450,000. Not good news, I'm afraid. Now, let's go on to the next section.
Unit 4. Exercise 4. Second listening. 2. Now listen and check your answers.
The number of cars made by major Japanese manufacturers in the U.S. grew considerably during the period 1985 to 89. Toyota started making cars in the U.S. in 1986. In its first year, it produced 13,000 cars. This was much less than Honda, the leading Japanese car manufacturer in the U.S. Both Toyota's and Honda's production rose in 1987 and 88, sharply in 87, but only slightly in 88. In 1989, however, Toyota's production rose very sharply, from 55,000 to 231,000. Honda, on the other hand, produced 362,000 cars, 4,000 less than in the previous year.
Unit 5. Describing products. Exercise 1. First listening. 2. Listen to the presentation and fill in the missing words.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to show you our new model, the Pulse Meter watch. The Pulse Meter is a watch for people who care about their health. Like other modern watches, it's light and easy to use. It has a simple modern design, making it easy to read. It can be used as a stopwatch, a timer, and an alarm. But the unique feature of the pulse meter is this. It measures and displays the number of heartbeats per minute. I'm sure you'll agree, ladies and gentlemen, that at a cost of only $39.99, the pulse meter watch is a real bargain.
Unit 5. Exercise 2. Talking about products. 2. Listen to the two product descriptions and check your answers. A.
They are ideal for fashion-conscious joggers. They are light and comfortable. They are made of the best quality materials. They have air-cushioned soles.
B.
It's perfect for business people who are out of the office a lot. It's light and compact and will easily fit into your attaché case, handbag, or pocket. It can connect with all major international telephone networks. Batteries are included.
Unit 5. Exercise 4. Pronunciation. 2. Listen and check your answers.
Unique. Bargain. Include. Feature. Design. Value. Contain. Ideal. Easy. Perfect.
Unit 5. Exercise 5. Second listening. 1. Listen to this presentation of a multilingual pocket translator. Check the right answer for each sentence.
And this is our latest product, a multilingual pocket translator.
Excuse me, I've never seen one of these before. What can it do?
Well, it can translate words from one language into another. You type in the word, and a translation appears on the screen.
That's amazing! So who's it designed for?
Well, for anyone who has to travel to a foreign country where they don't speak the language. Our research has shown that business people are our biggest group of customers, followed by tourists.
How big is it?
As you can see, it's very compact. You can put it in your pocket, just like a phrase book.
How many words does it contain?
8,000. We think that's enough for most normal situations.
And how many languages?
5. English, French, German, Italian, and Spanish.
I see. How much is it?
Oh, it's very affordable. The retail price is around $50. I'm sure you'll agree that at that price, it's a real bargain in any language.
Unit 5. Exercise 5. 3. Now listen and check your answers. A.
What can it do?
B.
Who's it designed for?
C.
How big is it?
D.
How many words does it contain?
E.
How many languages does it have?
F.
What does it cost?
Unit 6. Talking about decisions. Exercise 1. First listening. 1. Listen to a brief history of the American guitar manufacturer, Rickenbacker. Number the events in the correct order.
In 1953, F.C. Hall bought the Electro String Company, maker of Rickenbacker guitars. Hall modernized operations, and as a result, sales increased. In 1963, the Beatles began to play Rickenbackers. There was a great demand for Rickenbacker guitars known as Ricks, so a larger factory was built in 1964. However, during the 70s, tastes changed and sales leveled off. In 1984, F.C. Hall's son, John, took control of the company. Because John Hall improved efficiency, sales increased by 42%. In 1989, exports rose 85%, and as a result, Rickenbacker won the President's Export Award.
Unit 6, Exercise 4, Second Listening. Some people are talking about business decisions they have made. 1. Listen. What kind of product or service are they talking about? Write the number of the speaker next to the correct picture. 1.
Well, we found that outside the normal vacation season, we had too many empty rooms. So we simply wanted to attract more people, especially young people. In the end, we decided to install a sports club with its own swimming pool. We've also opened a new restaurant aimed at the younger market. I'm pleased to say that both these decisions have been a great success.
2.
We made a big decision a few years back to start making camcorders in Malaysia. There has been a rapidly growing demand for our product in Southeast Asia over the past 5 years or so, and naturally we wanted to take advantage of it. Production started just over 3 years ago, and during the first 2 years we produced more than 20,000 camcorders a month.
3.
We think there will be a huge market for automobiles in Eastern Europe. Car sales might double in the next 10 years, according to our predictions, possibly even triple. Obviously, we can't be absolutely sure about what will happen. However, we have analyzed this region in some depth, and because of the potentially huge market, we have decided to open a car engine factory in Hungary.
4.
These days, most people exercise regularly and are careful about their diet. Consumers are much more health conscious now than in the past. We take this very seriously, and we want to show people that the food we serve is healthier than ever. Last month, we decided to stop using saturated animal fat to cook our French fries. As a result, we now use only top-quality vegetable oil. Of course, it's more expensive, but we believe a better product will mean higher sales. It's also good for our image.
Unit 6, Exercise 5, Pronunciation. 2. Listen and check your answers.
Inform. Information. Operate. Operation. Corporate. Corporation. Introduce. Introduction. Produce. Production. Install. Installation. Explain. Explanation.
Unit 6, Culture File, Decision-Making Styles. 1. Listen to these people talk about making decisions. A.
In my opinion, a manager doesn't have to achieve a consensus to make a decision. After all, it's the manager's job to make decisions. Meetings and discussions just slow things down.
B.
I think it's very important to reach agreement before a decision is made. That means a lot of meetings and voting on everything. It slows things down sometimes, but it's worth it.
C.
I work on the Saturn assembly line. We have daily meetings and all the guys help to make decisions about production. I certainly prefer it to the old way of following orders. I feel more involved.
D.
Hey, I operate a molding machine, right? I just want to do my job, get paid, and get out of here. Why should working guys like me make decisions? That's what the manager's paid for.
End of Side 1. Unit 7, Dealing with Problems. Exercise 1. First listening. 1. Listen to the 2 dialogues and check the correct complaint for each one. Dialogue 1.
How can I help you, Mr. Watanabe?
I have a complaint about our last shipment.
What's the problem?
Well, the items in 2 of the crates were damaged.
I'm sorry to hear that. As you know, our policy is to replace any damaged items free of charge. And we'll pay the extra shipping charges. I hope it didn't inconvenience you too seriously. Could you give me a few details? First of all, what exactly is the order?
Dialogue 2.
I understand there's a problem with last week's order, Miss Butler.
Yes, you sent the wrong items. We ordered the X200 model, but you sent us X250s.
One moment, please. Ah, yes, it's our mistake. I'm very sorry about that. We'll take care of it right away.
Thank you. Oh, and there's one more thing. Could you...
Unit 7. Exercise 2. Making a complaint. 1. Listen to the dialogue.
How can I help you?
I have a complaint about the last shipment.
What's the problem?
Well, we think you sent the wrong amount.
The wrong amount?
Well, that's right. We ordered 2,000 items, but you sent us only 1,500.
I see. Well, I'm very sorry about that. I'll look into it right away and get back to you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Unit 7. Exercise 4. Second listening. 1. Listen to these ways of breaking bad news and good news.
I'm afraid you have to work overtime this evening.
I'm sorry, but we've awarded the contract to Amtel Inc.
Congratulations! You passed the exam.
Good news! We got the contract!
Unit 7. Exercise 4. Second listening. 3. Listen to Rob speaking to 6 people and number the notes in the correct order. 1.
John, I understand you've made a number of personal overseas calls during the past week on the office phone. I'm sorry, but it'll have to stop, okay?
2.
Everyone here likes the basic idea very much, but I'm afraid the design isn't quite right. It should be stronger and simpler. Could you work on some new ideas?
3.
Sorry, Murray, but I can't make that golf game next weekend. I have to go to Hong Kong for a week or so. Sorry about this, but I'll get in touch when I get back, okay?
4.
Hello, Bill. Listen, I just got your report on the Texas project. I'm sorry, but it's not what I want. We need more facts, more hard information, okay? Come to my office now and we'll talk it over.
5.
Hey, Jeff. Listen, we've got a slight problem with the last order. You got the goods, right? Well, I'm afraid we haven't received any payment yet. What's happening?
6.
Thanks for coming in the other day, Miss Harker. We all enjoyed talking with you, and I'm happy to tell you the job is yours. Can you start on Monday?
Unit 7. Exercise 5. Pronunciation. Apologizing. 1. Listen to the same apology said in 2 different ways.
I'm extremely sorry. I'm extremely sorry.
Which one sounded more sincere? Why? Unit 7. Exercise 5. 2. Listen to some more apologies and repeat them. A.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
B.
Please accept our apologies.
C.
I don't understand how it happened.
D.
It won't happen again.
E.
I'll sort it out right away.
F.
You have my word.
Unit 7. Exercise 5. 4. Here are some polite ways of responding to an apology. Listen and repeat. A.
That's all right.
B.
No problem.
C.
Don't worry about it.
Unit 8. Checking progress. Exercise 1. First listening. Giorgio Marinetti, personnel manager at Vega Software, is discussing the recruitment of a new office manager for the company. 2. Listen. Match the applicants with the pictures.
Giorgio, how are the interviews for the office manager job going? They are going well, Jack. We have 3 very promising applicants. Have you interviewed them all yet? No, not all of them. We've interviewed Miss Torres. She was a very good candidate. Extremely confident. My assistant is interviewing Miss O'Neill, the second candidate, right now. She seems very enthusiastic. We haven't interviewed Miss Schwartz yet, but her references are excellent. It sounds like a difficult decision. Well, please keep me informed. Tell me when you've made a decision. Okay.
Unit 8. Exercise 3. Checking on progress. 1. It's 3 p.m. now. Mary is speaking to her boss on the phone. Listen and then practice with a partner.
Have you called Jack Williams yet?
Yes, I have.
And have you talked to personnel?
No, I haven't. Giorgio is still interviewing the job applicants.
What about the report? Have you finished it?
Not yet. I'm working on it now.
Unit 8. Exercise 4. Second listening. 1. George Cohen, senior executive of McDonald's Restaurants, is talking about the first McDonald's restaurant in Moscow. Listen. Are the statements true or false? If the statements are false, correct them.
Mr. Cohen, your Moscow restaurant has been open for just over a year now.
That's right.
How's business?
Just fine. We're very happy with the whole operation.
How many meals have you served at the Moscow restaurant?
We estimate that we've served 20 million meals.
20 million? That's a lot of meals. And is the menu in Moscow the same as in New York?
Almost, but we've taken the fish fillet off the menu.
Because the customers in Moscow don't like fish?
Oh, they like fish. It was a supply problem. There isn't enough fish on the market here.
What other kinds of problems have you had?
Well, prices have more than doubled because of inflation, and we've had other supply difficulties, but nothing too serious.
Have you ever run out of burgers or fries?
No, we haven't. We've always had enough burgers and fries.
So you have a lot of satisfied customers?
I think so. Mr. Gorbachev has visited with his family, and he seemed pretty happy when he was here.
Finally, Mr. Cohen, what about the future of McDonald's in Russia?
We're very optimistic. There are going to be a lot of changes in this part of the world, but we are here for good.
Unit 8. Culture File. Hiring personnel. 1. Listen to these people talk about hiring procedures in their companies. A.
I work for an advertising agency in London. We're always looking for new people, and we do a lot of headhunting. If we hear about someone who obviously has talent and ambition, we contact them and set up an informal meeting. If both sides are interested, we work out a deal.
B.
We are one of the largest construction companies in the States. We usually hire our youngest staff straight from college, and we also advertise in magazines and newspapers. I guess our procedures are pretty typical. We ask people to send us their resumes, with references, of course. Then a panel of interviewers meets a selection of applicants and makes a decision.
C.
We have about 1,500 employees at Futura Computers France, and we use a number of tests to screen job applicants, an IQ test and a multiple-choice personality test. We have done some research into handwriting analysis, but we don't use it at present. We believe that it's necessary to find out as much as possible about an applicant before making a decision to hire.
D.
I'm the president of a small plastics factory in Sydney, Australia. If I need people, I get my employees to ask around and I advertise locally, at the employment office, in the local paper, and outside the factory. I don't care too much about their background. I prefer to give a person the job first, and then see how they get on.
Kind of a trial period, I guess.
Unit 9. Future Prospects. Exercise 1. First listening. Carl Borgard, product manager of Miller Pharmaceuticals, is briefing his team about their new product, the pain relief drug Dolorex. Listen and fill in the gaps.
Today, I want to talk about our new product, the pain relief drug Dolorex. In general, the sales prospects for this product are good, and I'm very optimistic. I'm convinced that people will prefer Dolorex to other pain relief drugs. The pills are smaller and they taste better. Our market researchers think that demand for pain relief drugs will increase steadily over the next 5 years, which is also good news. On the export side, everything depends on the United States Food and Drug Administration. If the U.S. Food and Drug Administration approves Dolorex, then we will be able to export to the U.S. and to many other overseas countries. But what about the competition? I think at least 2 of our competitors will also launch new pain relief drugs in the next 3 years. However, because Dolorex is cheaper to produce than the others, I think we will have a big advantage over our competitors.
Unit 9. Exercise 4. Pronunciation. 1. Listen and repeat.
I'll, you'll, he'll, she'll, it'll, will, they'll.
2. Listen. Check the sentences where you hear the contracted ul form. A.
I arrive on the 11 o'clock flight.
B.
We'll end the meeting just after lunch.
C.
I expect the delivery next week.
D.
We'll arrange transportation from the airport for all overseas visitors.
E.
You'll have to ask at reception.
F.
They'll finish their report on Thursday.
Unit 9. Exercise 6. Second listening. Members of the Research and Development (R&D) department of a large electronics company are discussing the prospects for a new product, a video telephone. 1. Listen. Are the statements true or false? If they are false, correct them.
As you know, the video telephone is one of our most important projects. We need to decide how successful we think it will be and how much money to invest in it. Hiroshi, can I start with you?
I'm very optimistic. I think the video phone will definitely be an important product for our company in the future.
Why do you think so, Hiroshi?
I'm sure people will like the idea of seeing the person they are talking to. A phone conversation will become more like a face-to-face business meeting.
Maria, do you agree with Hiroshi?
Yes, I do. I'm also convinced that the video phone will be a big success.
How big?
Well, I think nearly all homes might have a video phone in, say, 20 years.
What do you think, Roberto?
I'm not sure. I think the video phone probably won't be our most important new product.
Why?
Because they'll probably be too expensive. Think how much a video camera costs now. Okay, the cost of video cameras might be much lower in 20 years. Still, I'm certain that the technology won't be cheap enough for everyone to have a video phone, even in 20 years.
Unit 10. Regulations and Advice. Exercise 1. First listening. 1. 2 British business people, Ellen and John, are talking about John's business trip to the United States. Listen and check the right box.
So, John, let's go over the details of the trip.
Okay. What time do I have to check in at Heathrow?
By 9 a.m.
9, okay. And I arrive at Kennedy around 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
1:10 to be exact. And you don't have to worry about getting to your hotel. There'll be a limo waiting.
Great.
Oh, and I think you should give Bill a call from the airport, just to confirm the dinner date.
That's at 8 o'clock at the Four Seasons, right?
Right.
Can I walk there from my hotel?
No, you can't walk. It's right across town. And remember, you shouldn't be late. Bill likes people to be on time.
I understand.
If you have any problems, just phone or fax us, okay?
Okay.
Unit 10. Exercise 4. A planning meeting. 1. Alan and Bill, two executives at a small electronics company, are talking about their plans for next year.
So what about next year? What should we do?
Well, I think we should increase our research spending.
Okay, but I think we also have to buy some new factory equipment. Our present equipment is really out of date.
Yes, and we really should move to a larger plant. We need more space.
I agree, but we can't do that yet. We don't have the money right now.
I guess not. There's one more thing. We have to buy some new office furniture. My chair is killing me.
I think we can afford that, Bill. Anything else?
Yes. We should give ourselves an enormous raise.
Unit 10. Exercise 5. Second listening. 2. Listen to a presentation by a representative of Volvo Motors. Decide which statements are true and which are false.
Thank you for coming this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the world faces many environmental problems. Global warming, desertification, pollution, and many others. Most people think that governments should solve these problems, but we at Volvo believe that industry should help too. As an auto manufacturer, it is our responsibility to make products that are environmentally friendly. But we also have to satisfy the consumer in terms of comfort, price, and efficiency. One example of this is the catalytic converter, which was introduced on Volvo vehicles in 1974. The catalytic converter has greatly reduced carbon monoxide emissions from all our vehicles. However, we still have to reduce carbon dioxide emissions, and to do that, there are 3 things we have to do immediately. We have to burn less gasoline, we have to experiment with alternative fuels, and, more generally, we have to improve the design of our engines. As a result of research, we now realize that we should also change our methods of production. For example, we are now reducing the amount of freon used to make plastic auto parts. It is essential to agree on international standards for protecting the environment. The problems are serious and everyone should be concerned, but we believe that positive action will have positive results. With effort and cooperation, we can have a green future. Thank you.
Unit 11. Meetings and discussions. Exercise 1. First listening. Robert O'Donovan of the Australian Commerce and Industry Office in Taipei is talking to Hai Wu of Far Eastern Department Stores about an Australian product fair at Far Eastern's Taipei store. 1. Listen and check the topics they talk about.
Okay, shall we start, Mr. O'Donovan?
Good idea. Well, I guess first on the agenda is advertising. How's it going?
Everything is fixed. We'll have half-page ads in the major newspapers and 10-second TV commercials on a number of channels.
That sounds fine. Now the event schedule. I think the fashion show should be on the first day. How do you feel about that?
Good idea. And will the ambassador be here for that?
Yes, he will. And the Australian folk band's going to provide live music during the final week. They'll be very popular, I think.
Unit 11. Exercise 2. Beginning a discussion. 1. Listen to the dialogue.
Okay, shall we start?
Good idea. First of all, I'd like to discuss the order of events. Is that okay with you?
Fine. Then we can talk about the press release.
Sounds fine.
Unit 11. Exercise 5. Ending a discussion. 2. Listen to the dialogue and check your answers.
Well, I think that's everything. Is that it for today?
Sure. Could we arrange a date for our next meeting?
Good idea. How about next Tuesday at 10 a.m.?
Let's see. Yes, that would be fine.
So, I'll see you next Tuesday.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Unit 11. Exercise 6. Second listening. Unity Bank and Trust, a small bank in the United States, is holding a meeting.
Okay, let's start. Now the first item on the agenda is plans for future growth. We want as many ideas as possible for increasing our market share. Okay? Who wants to go first? Yes, Carol.
Well, I think that our service could be better. We should aim for greater customer satisfaction.
How do you mean?
I think one problem is that our customers don't always get their statements on time. We should always mail monthly statements within 2 business days of the end of the month, no matter what.
Yes, I like that. How do you feel about that, Pete?
Good idea. And another thing we should do is try to find new customers for the bank. We have to improve our market share.
How do you suggest we do that, Pete?
Well, I think we need to talk to the people who aren't our customers yet and explain why they should open an account with us. So, how about making more cold calls on potential customers at their homes and offices?
Interesting. Yes, Alice, what do you think?
I'm sure that if our employees have more incentives, they'll be more motivated, and they'll give our customers better service.
Can you give us an example?
Yes. How about improving incentives for our employees? You know, bonuses, profit sharing, investment plans, that kind of thing.
Harry?
I think Alice's idea is excellent. But we also need to give our customers an incentive to bank with us. Customer loyalty is as important as staff loyalty.
What do you suggest?
How about this? We give our customers some kind of free gift when they visit the bank.
A gift? You mean cash, free insurance, a watch?
No. I was thinking of something more practical. Top quality potatoes, for example.
Potatoes? I don't quite understand that, Harry. Why potatoes?
Well, at University National Bank and Trust in California, they gave away 25,000 pounds of onions last year, and everyone thought it was a great idea.
Unit 12. Review and saying thank you. Exercise 1. First listening. 1. Listen to sentences 1 through 8 and decide what each person is doing. Write the correct number next to each activity A through H. The first one is done for you. 1.
Can I smoke here?
2.
Could you ask him to call me as soon as possible?
3.
Have you finished that sales report yet?
4.
Do you think sales will continue to rise next year?
5.
I'm sorry, but will you excuse me for a moment? I have to talk to someone.
6.
Let's see. I'm meeting a client in the afternoon.
7.
As you can see, sales rose sharply in June.
8.
Is this the shipping department? The last shipment we received from you was damaged.
Unit 12. Exercise 3. Proposing a toast. 2. Now listen to John Cooper's speech and check your answers.
Well, everyone, it's been a very enjoyable evening, and before we leave, I want to say a few words. We've had a very good year, and I'd like to thank everyone who has helped. The R&D section, the designers, the sales staff, oh, and not forgetting the catering staff, too. You all helped to make it a great year. Now I'd like to propose a toast. To next year.
To next year!
Unit 12. Exercise 5. Second listening. 2 people meet at a computer trade fair. 1. Listen to the dialogue. Decide whether the statements are true or false.
Hi, I don't think we've met. I'm Herbert Berry.
Roger Elliott. Pleased to meet you. Who are you with?
I work for a computer graphics company.
Really? Which one?
Microvisual. Have you heard of us?
Microvisual. I'm not sure. What exactly do you do?
Well, we're involved in computer-generated images. At the moment, we're building up a catalog of prints from all over the world.
Right.
If you need a picture for a brochure or magazine, you can choose from several thousand stored on a single disc.
A single disc? Amazing.
Of course, we have to own the copyright for any pictures we include on the disc.
Right.
It's a lot cheaper and much more convenient than going to a picture library.
Is that so?
Well, the quality of computer-generated images these days is just as good as ordinary photographs. Don't you agree?
Well, not entirely. You see,
I think that in 5 years, traditional photography will be a thing of the past.
Really?
Okay, maybe not in 5 years, but sooner or later it'll happen. A lot of photographers are going to have a very hard time. Don't you agree?
Perhaps.
What do you do, by the way?
Me? I'm a photographer.
A photographer? Oh, I see. I mean, that's great. Look, when I said photographers are going to have a hard time, what I meant was that...
Unit 12. Exercise 6. Word file. Reacting to what someone is saying. 3. Listen and check your answers. A. Ways to agree.
Definitely. Absolutely. Of course. Right. Okay.
B. Ways to express doubt.
I'm not so sure. Possibly. Perhaps.
C. Ways to express surprise.
Really? Is that so? No. Amazing.
D. Ways to show you understand.
I see. Okay. Right.